Ever try to get a handle on all these new resources, or maybe even the old ones? Well, the Majestic series is right around the corner. We're going to be diving into the top 10 resources in the ROC Age format, so stay tuned. Welcome back to Majestic's Top 10. My name is Chase, and I am your host as we dive into the top 10 resources for the ROC Age format. If you'd like to learn a little bit more about this format, head over to MajesticCCG.com, where I'll put a link also below, and there's a special events section that details more about the Majestic's Open Series and the ROC Age format. Also, while you're there, you can check out the Apex Insiders for more great articles and content written by great players. And actually, if you liked this list and you want to find out more information, there will be an article series that matches up with these top 10 lists that really go over in depth all these different resources and the other videos that I'll be doing in this series. So let's go ahead and check out the top 10 resources in the ROC Age format. Real quick, I do want to get into the power plant as my honorable mention today. At only 30 points maxed out, it just brings a lot of utility for ranged teams. The couple cool things about it is all the rings have such different abilities, from penetrating psychic blast, adding extra bolts to your team, ways to do mind control, barrier, all kinds of very interesting utilities for your team. And it also has the ability to increase stats or give pieces outwit. So if you are looking for a resource that's going to really boost a team that is mainly focused on range, then the power plant is where you want to start. All right, number 10, we have the Millennium Stone from the Yu-Gi-Oh series. The Millennium Stone is really interesting because of its ability to pretty much give your team whatever support powers you're looking for. It has really cool probability control, perplex, and outwit powers. Also, it has the ability to make bystander tokens that get better as the game goes on and the dial clicks on the Millennium Stone. There's some cool stat increases mixed in the dial, and there's a really cool end click that allows you to get impervious, outwit, you deal penetrating damage, +2 to all your stats, and I think you get probability control as well. If you can get to that click, one of your characters is really going to wreck the rest of the team. Other than that, the main thing about it is that it's just really great for a team that's looking for some extra support powers to kind of round it out. Coming in at number 9 on our list is Pandoras Box. We love Pandoras Box here at number 9 because of its ability to give sidestep, combat reflections, and energy shield deflection across your team in different ways with the Sin Relics. It also has some of them also have their own special abilities, like, let's say, be able to heal if you don't take an action that turn, or willpower, be able to get rid of shape change. They just offer some things that your team might be lacking. Another thing too is you can pick different paths, which pretty much means that on the dial you get to choose a set of powers that you might be able to use as you click the dial. So there's kind of 3 different paths. I would say one is a little more closer to range teams, another one offers more of a close combat array, and the last one is more of a support set of powers. The other thing that's really awesome is that you can actually get all the Sin Relics out onto your pieces. You do need at least 3 characters on your force to be able to do that. What it does is it pretty much makes them go into God mode. They get to ignore all kinds of terrain for targeting, movement, +2 to most of your stats, even 3 to a couple other ones, and along with Mystics and picking a DC team ability. The Pandoras Box is just kind of a cool thing that really can help some teams if you need that little extra movement with sidestep or the defense with energy shield deflection, along with the ability that once it's ramped up, it's pretty crazy. Coming in at number 8 is a Justice League Teleporter / Avengers Roundtable. The 3 things to know about this that I really enjoy is, 1, you have the ability to switch out a character on your team before the game starts with a character on the ID slot. It has to be less points, of course, but it gives your team versatility in the build and going against different matchups. Again, adding versatility in the characters is the fact that you get 6 ID cards, even if you only have 2 or 3 characters on your force, or even just 1 character on your force. What this does is it allows you to bring in characters to help deal with situations that maybe your team isn't equipped just on its own. And the last thing that's kind of cool is that when you get the thing all the way ramped up, it allows you to bring in ID characters that pretty much stay until they take damage. So that can just be really overwhelming for an opponent once you get the teleporter all the way up. In short, the teleporter just brings versatility in the characters that you're able to use, along with the ability to use the cool call-in abilities of the ID cards. Number 7 on the list is the Batman Utility Belt. The Utility Belt offers a lot of options for a single character on your team, and it's not that expensive, coming in I think just 14 points in total. The few things I really like about the Utility Belt is its ability to use Super Strength, really cool in-cap power, and the handcuffs. The handcuffs are great because they can help neutralize a really important figure on your opponent's team, at least for a turn or two, maybe even more. Other than that, the main thing with the Utility Belt is it just gives options that you just wouldn't see in some of the other resources, especially for a single character that you just want to kind of beef up. Number 6 on our list is the Phoenix Force. The Phoenix Force offers so much to you because it gives stat bonuses throughout the dial, along with extra powers, some really great powers in there, everything from hypersonic, outwit, I mean, you name it, it's on there. The other cool thing is you actually get to choose what powers you want when it comes to either invulnerability, ranged combat expert, telekinesis, a pseudo mystics, along with the ability to use a couple different team abilities, like the excellent team ability, which I think is one of my favorite to use on it. Being able to put invulnerability across your whole team is just really, really strong. So other than that, it comes in about 42 points with it all maxed out, but it's just a huge asset for any team to use. All right, number 5 on our list is going to be the Sinestro Battery. So now we're starting to get into some of the batteries, which have always been considered some of the more powerful resources in the game. And they're all very specific to what you want your team to do. So the Sinestro Battery, or as some people call it the Yellow Battery, is really strong because when you use its emotional spectrum, it's -2 to any opponent or any opponent's figures that target a higher point figure on your team. So a lot of people like to use it for like temples and one-man armies to try and keep them safe. A -2 to attack to already some of the more expensive figures in the game that have usually good defensive values can be super strong. And on top of it, the Yellow Battery gives you the ability to perplex down opposing characters. So now you can perplex down their attack even more. They're just a really cool way to keep your kind of temple or one-man army alive, along with all the normal things that the battery can give between all the attachments like shape change, regen. You can also get perplex and prog and outwit from the battery. It offers a lot. You know, the batteries are always going to be very popular, and the Sinestro is just great for those temples. Coming in number 4 is the Indigo Battery. This is a personal favorite of mine because it really can shut down enemy ranged teams. What makes the Indigo Battery so good is that enemy figures cannot use a ranged attack or any kind of ranged power unless they're within 4 squares of your team that has the Indigo Battery, or, you know, the resource attachment onto it. It really shuts down those ranged teams and can kind of keep you alive as you go across the board. Again, it offers all the great benefits of the batteries do, and it's just a really great way to shut down enemy range. Coming in at number 3 on our list is the Quinjet with the resource dial. Now, the first thing I will say is that I really enjoy the Quinjet at its 140 cost with the 5-point resource dial over its 70 cost starting line. The reason for that is it will stay in the game longer. It allows you to bring in some bigger characters in case maybe one of your Ultron drones gets taken out, which is normally ran with the Quinjet, and so you can still kind of bring out some bigger pieces of the game. You are talking about a 17-click figure as well that can reduce penetrating damage. It is also a taxi, and on the first few clicks has a defend and the ability to give another character outwit. Now, the real reason you bring the Quinjet though is its resource dial. Its resource dial ramps up every time you call in an ID figure. Now, what that does is for however far up you get, you can call in an ID of so many points that actually stays on the board. So this can get up to 300 points. So you can get some pretty crazy figures on the board that can stay on the board and do a lot of damage. So again, the Quinjet is just a really hard figure to kill that brings some versatility to your team, a taxi, and can help you, just like the teleporter, to bring in figures to deal with different situations. All right, number 2 on the list is the Green Battery. The Green Battery is so good because of what it shuts down on the enemy team. It's just a blanket-wide ability that says you can only use 1 free action per character. So if you want to use anything like Perplex and Outwit or whatever, you can only do 1 of those per character. This shuts down a lot of team builds that revolve on some cool combos in the game. This is one of the more frustrating batteries to deal with because of that. I would say it's even more frustrating than the Indigo Battery because of its emotional spectrum. On top of that, the ring gives you willpower to all of your team members that does have a constrict attached to them. So that's what makes the green battery so powerful. Shutting down enemy free actions while giving your team Indom is not the coolest sounding ability, but it is extremely strong in this meta. Coming in at number 1 on our list is the Book of the Skull. It is such a strong resource because of all the benefits that it gives. The hammers alone could be a reason to bring this resource. You're getting either running shot or charge from each one, along with +2 to your attack. They also add additional benefits like either toughness, plasticity, steel energy, improved movement, giant size. There's just whatever you need, the hammers alone could be worth bringing. Then equipping the hammers, when you do it, you can free action Quake. And then you can equip them for free if you bring Split Lip. So pretty much, you might as well consider this a 50-point resource because if you're paying 30 for the complete book, you're also gonna play the Split Lip for 20. They just go hand in hand and there's not really any reason not to bring him. Then on top of that, you also have the Dial, which has more powers, more stat increases. It's just a great resource. You can get Perplex starting out, Barrier, probability control, Outwit as it goes down. It's just a really, really awesome resource style as well. So the quick breakdown again is that the Book of Skull offers all the great benefits of the hammer. You can pretty much pick them up for free along with a free action Quake when you drop them in the square, with Split Lip of course. And then lastly, you get the whole Dial, which offers additional stat increases, additional powers. There's just not the only thing you really can't say is it's not the most defensive resource. There is some better options like Indigo or even the Phoenix Force, but when it comes from an offensive standpoint, the Book of Skull is the best. Alright guys, so that's the end of the list today. Thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you did enjoy it and that it shed some light on the ROC Age format and the Majestics Open Series in general. Also, there will be a link down below with the follow-up article in today's Top 10 series. This will kind of give a more in-depth look into all the different resources I talked about today. You can check that out over at MajesticCCG.com. Other than that, please comment below, like and subscribe because there's going to be plenty more content to come.